Welcome. If you're watching this on the day it's posted, happy 4th of July for the Yanks and for everyone else. It's July 4th. So I'm working on this much larger project right now, which is a multi-nation, what I consider realistic escalation that's going to take place over a few weeks, and it'll be a part of a multi-video series. And one of those things is fixing a lot of the deployments that are built into this nuclear war simulator. For example, I touched on it yesterday where I posted a video on some tips and tricks and how to do things. But to give a glaring example of some fallacies built in here, if you were to look at the subs and say, look under blueprints, every sub in the game, and I'm under China, I need to go to the United States. So if I were looking at the United States and look at the subs, so the Tridents, and let's look, they'll all come equipped with 8 of the Trident missiles equipped with the W-88 warheads, and it says 5 times. And it should be you have 5 MIRVed warheads. If you look here, there's actually 8. And the same thing when you look at for the Whiskey 76, 8. So what I did was I had to come in and actually edit and create new ones so these actually have 5, like they're supposed to. Because what's happened is if you were to put these out there, even though it would appear like they have the correct number of warheads, they actually have too many by, not double, but a very large margin, to say the least. We currently have 240 warheads, at least that's what we say we have deployed. 240 missiles, and it's roughly about 1,000 warheads deployed on our subs. That's at least what we claim at any one time. So that's what I'm going with on this. So it's just stuff like that. It requires a lot of legwork to fix. Thankfully, somebody did a lot of legwork to put all these military bases on and did a phenomenal job. I've been checking a lot just to make sure like they weren't just put here as targets, and some pretty good accuracy from what I can see. And so I was spot checking some of the stuff in Japan, and I already did here, for like one of the places I used to live was Columbus. So I'm fairly familiar with Columbus. And there's 2 things. There's a U.S. Army Reserve thing, but right here there is Defense Supply, DSCC, Defense Supply Construction. I can't remember. It's one of 3 big supply depots for the U.S. military. Huge facility there. I know because I accidentally cut their fiber once, and they wanted to charge about $100,000. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. So today, in honor of 4th of July, I'm going to do a quick scenario. This one is going to be a Chinese limited strike against U.S. military bases in Southeast Asia. So part of the bigger scenario is going to involve stuff like this, where it's not going to go straight to everyone hitting the button, all-out attacks against different nations. There's going to be levels of escalation involved in this. This is going to represent one potential level of escalation. The actual scenario, the bigger one, is going to look a little bit different, but this gives you one option. So if China wanted to cross the nuclear threshold, or even necessarily maybe respond to a nuclear attack from the United States, so say the United States decides to deploy some tactical nukes to overcome naval losses in, South China Sea. So China could retaliate on their own in some limited form. In this case, it's going to be utilizing their mobile launchers, their Dofang 21s and 26s, and they're going to strike out at bases. They're not going to hit any U.S. mainland, or not even mainland, or Alaska or Hawaii, but they are going to hit Guam, Okinawa, bases in South Korea, and Japan. So it's going to represent a limited escalation, but we can see, though, what kind of casualties would result from that. So I have my 2 attack plans laid out. Let's see here. You can see the ones here striking Okinawa and South Korea. We also have this one. This one's doing some in there as well. So let's look at targeted locations. What's going on here? Why am I not seeing anything? Well, I could have swore that I targeted these locations too. I may have. That may be a mistake on my part. Well, I can run through some stuff real fast. I apparently made an error. So let me rectify that. Okay. So I initially had placed targets here. I may have overlap. So bear with me here 1 second. Let's do surface burst 1. Also hit 1 airburst for each location. Okay. There, that's better. I have not figured out a way to display all of them at once. So, learned a lot of stuff about this sim, but I have not learned everything yet. So, let's go ahead and start to fire it up. So, we'll see some firing from here and then over in here. Mobile launchers will generally take the longest outside of bombers. Mobile launchers will take longer than subs and ICBMs. ICBMs will generally be able to fire first, then subs, and then mobile launchers. And it makes sense. So now we're starting to see them light up in 3 locations. Now, one thing I will say, there is a THAAD battery located in South Korea. I know Japan was looking at potential deployment. South Korea was even looking at a second THAAD battery. They would be able to intercept these. So THAADs are designed to intercept medium range and intermediate range ballistic missiles. They're not designed to intercept intercontinental ballistic missiles. We have the ground-based mid-course interceptors for that. So THAADs work a little different than the ground-based mid-course interceptors because THAAD is designed to target on the terminal phase of the missile. So a ballistic missile, by its very nature, goes up and back down, unlike a cruise missile. And so there's 3 ways to target during the initial phase, ascension phase, Mid-course, that's it's traveling out of the atmosphere. And then the terminal phase is when it drops. Terminal phase, it is going extremely fast. So those are hard, especially ICBMs. They're going to come very, very fast as they come down. Okay, so we're seeing that. Let's take a look here. Guam's a unique one. Big naval base, then we got an air base. If you're a DCS flight sim, they have the free Marianas Island map. So it's pretty cool. I've done some F-18 Hornet, F-18 Hornet ops out of that. I'm a big fan of the F-15 Strike Eagle, but there's some issues with the developer on that. If you're in the DCS world, combat flight sim, you're probably well aware of it. Okay, let's take a look. So an extremely limited strike, you're still looking at 4.2 million losses. That's, as I always say, immediate losses. Long term will be greater. I think I did miss another one. It may have been covered up. I may have not noticed it. Doesn't seem like it did strike there. But fallout would have affected that base anyways. So let's take a look at Guam, because that's the one I'd be very concerned about. Let's come back over here to losses. Yeah, you're looking at, let's see here. Nearly 70% of the population gone, vaporized in an instant. So that would obviously be devastating. And I would not count on the survivors having a very good time either. So I would almost consider that probably you would almost have 100% casualties there. Maybe some people here. Which is not heavily populated, but it would be a very small. Japan, for the most part, I mean, Okinawa would be highly affected, but Japan, outside of Okinawa, wouldn't be too bad. And of course, South Korea suffered the largest amount of losses. And so, and realistically, anything involving strikes on South Korea, would have some level of engagement or impact from North Korea. And look, North Korea might not be very happy about that. They have fallout crossing the border into their country. They have designs of reunification with the South, and reunifying with heaps of ash may not be the goal. So, this will give you an idea, though. One model for some level of escalation that would be more theater level and not escalating to strategic level, and how that might look. Clearly, stuff like that can easily turn into tit for tat. If you saw my Cuban Missile Crisis goes hot, you saw how that escalated over a matter of days. So, keep a lookout. I'm going to do some sub videos as I work on kind of the main course. So, appreciate everybody. Remember, tomorrow, live stream, winner for the free giveaway for the Nuclear War Simulator free copy. So, check it out. Thanks.